Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Thursday, October 9, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, to share some words of wisdom with Electra Forrester, Lania Grace. Meanwhile, John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, and Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, battle Bill Spencer, Dawn Diamond, and Katie Logan, Heather Tom. Let's start off with Electra. Fans know that Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, confessed everything to his girlfriend. While they both love each other very much, Electra can't ignore the fact that Will could be the father of Luna Nozawa's Lisa Yamada baby. The girl already told him that she can't make any promises until that paternity test comes back. Electra will open up to Ivy about the situation. The aunt will tell the young woman that the only thing she can do is wait. Once Luna is far enough along to have a DNA test, then the truth will come out. Meanwhile, Will is hoping and praying that the paternity test will come out negative. After all, Will was tricked into this. It wasn't a magical love story like Luna claims. Over at the Spencer mansion, fans watched as Finn confronted Bill and Katie about Luna. Then, Rich and Taylor appeared. Tri-G was furious over Luna living it up at the Spencer mansion and wants the girl back in prison pronto. In the next episode, expect Ridge, Taylor, and Finn to continue debating with Katie and Bill. They might promise that Luna is only there until they can get a paternity test done. Then they will have to make decisions based on the results. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, October 9 reveal that Katie suggested to Bill that Bridget Forrester, Ashley Jones, do the paternity test. Beatty is well aware of Luna's history of tampering with tests. Bill himself was a victim not too long ago. Luckily, Bill just told Katie in the episode that aired on Wednesday, October 8 that Luna is almost far enough along for that test. However, will the results prove Will is the father or not? If Will is the father, then he will certainly lose Electra. It would also mean that everyone has to deal with pregnant Luna for 9 more months. Thursday, October 9, brings us the bold and the beautiful episode packed with layered emotions, tense rivalries, and a surprising dose of old-school Forrester wisdom. The shimmering halls of Forrester Creations are buzzing once again. Not with the hum of sewing machines or the flash of new designs, but with power plays, family fractures, and an unexpected alliance that could reshape everything. By the end of the episode, long-held loyalties are questioned, unexpected words of wisdom find their way from the past into the present, and a war begins brewing that no one saw coming. A war pitting Ridge and Finn against Bill and Katie in a way that could tear both the Forrester and Spencer families apart. The morning opens with a calm that almost feels deceptive. The camera pans through the Forrester courtyard, sun-drenched and peaceful, before cutting to the familiar glint of Ivy Forrester's dark hair as she stands, gazing at the Forrester mansion. Ivy's return from Australia isn't just for nostalgia. She's back with purpose, with eyes sharper and heart wiser than before. She's been quietly following the chaos surrounding the Luna paternity scandal, the ongoing power struggle between Ridge and Bill, and the tension pulsing through the families. Ivy has seen enough of the Forresters' destructive cycles, and this time she plans to use her voice instead of her silence. Inside the mansion, Eric Forrester, still recovering from his health scare, welcomes his niece with a soft smile. "Ah, my Australian beauty," he says warmly. "You always show up when we need grounding." Ivy smiles knowingly. "And it looks like you could use a bit of grounding now, Uncle Eric." This family, it's like watching silk tear apart at the seams. She doesn't realize how right she is. At Forrester Creations, Ridge is in deep thought, staring out his office window. The skyline of Los Angeles stretches before him, but his mind is on family, and on Bill Spencer. Ever since Bill started whispering into Katie's ear about Forrester's manipulation of Luna's situation, and questioning Finn's judgment as a doctor, Ridge has been simmering. Ridge doesn't trust Bill's sudden concern for the Nozawas or his attempts to help Steffi's marriage. He knows Bill, and Bill never gets involved unless there's something in it for him. Just as Ridge is about to call Brooke for reassurance, Finn bursts into his office. The usually calm doctor is visibly tense, his voice sharp with contained frustration. Bill's gone too far, Finn says, pacing. He's been talking to Katie again, trying to spin Luna's case like it's my fault, like I'm hiding something from the hospital board. And now he's hinting that I'm protecting Steffi out of bias. Ridge folds his arms, brow furrowing. Of course he is. Bill Spencer doesn't fight clean. He's trying to make you look weak so he can come in looking like the savior, especially in Katie's eyes. Finn's expression hardens. Then maybe it's time he remembers who he's dealing with. I'm not some kid he can intimidate. The tension between them is mutual, but strangely productive. Ridge sees in Finn a fire that reminds him of himself in his younger years. And though they're very different men, they share one goal: protecting Steffi and the family legacy. Then let's hit him where it hurts, Ridge says finally. With truth, and with unity. It's a rare moment of understanding between them. A silent pact forming that neither fully articulates but both feel deeply. At Spencer Publications, Bill leans back in his leather chair, eyes glinting with that familiar mix of mischief and menace. Katie stands by the window, arms crossed, a mixture of frustration and affection in her voice. Why are you doing this, Bill? She asks. Finn's trying to help Luna, not hide her. You're twisting everything. Bill stands, walking toward her with that slow, confident stride that once made her heart race. And still does, though she hates to admit it. Katie, sweetheart, I'm not twisting anything. I'm protecting people. Someone has to hold the Forresters accountable. Ridge thinks he's untouchable. Finn thinks he can bend hospital policy to protect his wife. Someone has to bring them down a peg. Katie shakes her head. You don't care about accountability, Bill. You care about control. About being the one everyone has to answer to. His jaw tightens. A flash of vulnerability flickers in his eyes before the steel returns. You think I don't see what's happening? Ridge and Finn are closing ranks. They're shutting people out, hiding the truth about Luna's connection to the Forresters. If that girl's life is being manipulated by Ridge's family, the world deserves to know. Katie softens slightly, her voice quiet. And what if you're wrong? What if Luna is just a girl trying to find her place in all this madness? Bill pauses, then mutters. Then I'll still have made sure no one takes advantage of her, especially Ridge. There's tension, but also nostalgia between them. The ghost of their love story lingers in the air, and Katie can't shake the feeling that underneath all of Bill's arrogance, there's a man who still cares about her, maybe too much. Back at Forrester Creations, Ivy catches wind of the brewing tension. After a chance meeting with Katie at Il Giardino earlier that day, she pieces together the looming clash between Ridge and Bill. Forrester Spencer feud destroy everything. Ivy walks into Ridge's office. Finn is still there, reviewing medical reports. Both men glance up. I know what you're planning, Ivy says softly, and I know how men like Bill operate. But fighting fire with fire. That's not going to end this. It'll only burn everything down. Ridge arches a brow. You got something better in mind, Ivy? She smiles faintly. Wisdom, from experience. She sits, her tone calm but commanding. When I left LA, I thought distance would give perspective, and it did. I watched this family tear itself apart, and it always starts the same way: pride. One man trying to prove he's stronger, smarter, or more righteous than another. But this time you have a chance to break the pattern. Don't go after Bill, outthink him. Finn listens carefully, intrigued. And how do we do that? By staying transparent, Ivy says. By showing the world that Forrester Creations and your family have nothing to hide. Let the truth expose him instead. Ridge leans back, rubbing his chin. You think Bill will stop if we just play honest? Ivy smiles knowingly. No, but when the storm passes, you'll still have your integrity. And that's something Bill can't ever touch. Her words hang in the air, a rare beacon of reason amid the chaos. For a moment, both men are quiet, each processing her advice in their own way. Meanwhile, across town, Steffi sits in her Malibu home, watching the waves crash against the shore. She's overheard snippets of Ridge's conversations, sensed Finn's tension, and seen Bill circling like a shark. She knows a confrontation is inevitable, but she's not waiting for it. Steffi calls Hope, surprising her ex-rival. "I need your help," Steffi admits. "Not as competitors. As mothers. As women who've had to clean up the messes our men create." Hope, caught off guard, listens as Steffi outlines her plan to neutralize Bill's growing influence. It involves appealing to Katie's compassion, something Steffi can't do herself. Bill's only vulnerable through Katie, Steffi says. If we can remind her what's at stake, maybe she can talk sense into him before this explodes. Hope hesitates, torn between old loyalties and her lingering empathy for Steffi. But ultimately she agrees. "For Luna's sake, and for the kids, I'll talk to her." She spent years loving and fearing that man's intensity. Her phone buzzes. It's Hope. "Katie, I know this isn't easy," Hope says gently. "But whatever Bill's doing, it's going to backfire. Ridge and Finn aren't the enemy. They're just trying to protect their family, like you always do." Katie's eyes well with tears. I don't want another war. I've watched these men destroy each other for decades, and it's always the women who pick up the pieces." "Then maybe it's time," Hope replies softly, "for the women to change the ending." Katie exhales deeply. It's the kind of moral awakening that doesn't happen overnight. But the seed is planted, night falls. Forrester Creations is nearly empty, save for the glow of light from Ridge's office. He's there with Finn, both ready to face Bill head-on. The door swings open. Bill strides in, every inch the predator. Katie trails behind him, clearly uneasy. "Gentlemen," Bill says, smirking. "Plotting your next cover-up?" Ridge steps forward, unflinching. "We're not covering up anything, Bill. We're protecting people from your manipulation." Finn adds, "You're endangering Luna with your lies. She's fragile, scared, and she doesn't need her life used as ammunition for your ego." Bill's grin fades, replaced by that cold glint in his eyes. "Careful, Doctor. I've made bigger men than you regret crossing me." Before things can escalate further, Ivy enters, her timing impeccable. "Enough," she says, voice echoing through the office. All eyes turn to her. "This isn't business anymore. It's obsession," she continues. "Bill, you claim you're protecting people, but what you're really protecting is your pride. Ridge, you claim to defend family, but sometimes the best way to defend it is to let go." Her words pierce through the tension like a blade through silk. Katie, visibly shaken, finally speaks. She's right. "I can't watch you two destroy everything again. Not this time." She turns to Bill, tears threatening to spill. "If you go after them, you go alone." Bill looks at her, the one woman who's ever truly reached his heart, and for once, he has no response. Later, the Forrester office is quiet again. Ridge stands by the window, looking out at the city lights. Finn joins him, exhausted but calmer. "Do you think he'll back off?" Finn asks. Ridge sighs. Bill Spencer doesn't back off. But maybe this time, he'll think twice. Behind them, Ivy walks in, offering a small, knowing smile. "You two handled yourselves better than I expected." Ridge chuckles softly. "Guess your wisdom paid off." Ivy looks thoughtful. Maybe, or maybe everyone just needed to remember that no matter how powerful we think we are, the real strength is in restraint. As she leaves, Ridge watches her go, clearly impressed by her presence, and perhaps reminded of the steadiness this family has long been missing. At his penthouse, Bill pours himself a glass of bourbon. The city glitters outside, but his mind is elsewhere, on Katie's words, on Ivy's challenge, on the realization that maybe this time he's not in control. He stares into the glass, whispering to himself, they think they've won. But the game's just beginning. There's a dangerous promise in his tone, but a flicker of doubt too. The episode closes back at the Forrester estate. Ivy sits on the terrace, the night air calm, the stars bright. She speaks softly to Eric, who listens with quiet pride. I used to think love and power couldn't exist in the same world, she says. But maybe that's the lesson we keep forgetting. Power fades, but love's the only thing that rebuilds what we break. Eric nods, smiling faintly. Spoken like a true forester. As the camera pans out, the faint sound of the ocean blends with the night wind, a symbol of both peace and the inevitable storm to come. Because in the bold and the beautiful calm never lasts forever. Thursday, October 9 summary. Ivy's long-awaited return provides a voice of reason amid chaos as Ridge and Finn prepare to battle Bill and Katie's accusations. Old loyalties are tested, unexpected alliances form, and Ivy's words may be the only thing standing between peace and another all-out war. But even as calm temporarily settles over Forrester Creations, Bill's final vow in the darkness hints that this is only the beginning, and that the next storm will hit harder than anyone expects. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our BOLD and BUTIFUEL UPDATE YouTube channel for more update news.